is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. We have made it through another week. Hope everybody is having a good day. Hello, Service Alliance community. Do we have a special guest for you guys today? If you have been living under a rock and you don't pay attention to what's going on around you in the appliance world, you might not know this lady. You might not be paying attention, and if you aren't paying attention, shame on you. But we have my friend and someone that I love dearly here this morning, Miss Ward. How are you today, ma'am?
Absolutely phenomenal. What Dave Ramsey say? Better than I deserve.
Yes,
Amen.
ma'am. Well, thank you for joining us, and of course, I got my brother from another mother, Mister EJ Magic Mike, with me. How you doing, buddy?
I'm blessed. I can't say it any better. I'm just glad to have Miss Ward back. It's been months since we've had her on. She's out there dominating the world,
Dominating
one appliance at a time. We're just
literally the
ready to
world.
go.
Literally. Well, we're gonna have a lot to talk about this morning. If you came to this morning grind and you're a little bit sleepy and you're a little bit tired, wake your ass up because get your look. Hold on. I got my notes ready. It says Miss Ward at the top. If you don't have a pen and paper ready, get your pen and paper ready. Because one thing I can tell you about Miss Ward is once she starts talking and dropping them nuggets, if you don't have your pen and paper ready, you'll miss a few.
Yeah.
Because they're like an automatic rifle. They come real quick. So thank you again, Miss Ward, for coming on. EJ, you want to pray us in, buddy?
Yeah. So, Lord God, our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, Lord. We thank you for the blessing of the life that you've given us and the skill that you've given us to serve the communities, Lord, and our trades. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to be with all of our brothers and sisters out there that are watching and those that are watching later. Lord, we ask you to bless them in their days, bless them in their businesses and their trades, and bless their families. Lord, we thank you for Miss Ward and all that she does, inspiring so many, Lord, to push a little bit farther, Lord, and take the next step. Lord, we ask you to continue to bless her and her business and all those that work with her. Lord, we ask you to bless this message here, that things that come out will lift up and encourage and be positive influences for the people that receive it. All of this in your son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, my friend. Is that a new cap you got on, EJ?
I've had it a couple times, but I like it.
I like that. Very
Represent America.
patriotic. Well, for those in the community that have been living under a rock, Miss Ward, do you mind just sharing a little bit about your story, where you came from, how you got into this crazy appliance industry, and just give the people a little bit about you.
Yeah, my background is traditionally I was in automotive for over 30 years. I'm also, you know, was a welder. You know how when you first start out in life, you're finding your way. And I was the kind of person, I was in college and all that stuff, but I ain't trying to be nobody's secretary or receptionist. I'm not knocking that because that is a administrative skill, and dealing with people directly, that's a great skill. But I've all my life, people look at me and the first thing they think about is the bag, because you always hear me say that. But I've had responsibilities early on in my life, supporting my family. So me going to work the jobs that don't pay wasn't gonna happen. So I was always in non-traditional fields. So I, started out with let IBW, and I started dealing with welding, and I got into automotive. All this while I'm in college, because I had to support myself and throw some money back out home. So I ended up really excelling on the automotive side and the service direct departments. And I worked for BMW, Mercedes for many years. Then I worked with the aftermarket, worked my way up the corporate ladder. And, because I have those mechanical skill sets, I was always researching, the side hustles. And so, because I wanted to transition my skill set, but and use all my corporate knowledge and all my background, Six Sigma, all those things I've been exposed to. And appliance repair was the fit. And when, we had that experience in America a couple of years back, and, everybody was changing how they dealt with their employees and things of that nature, my business was already taking off. So I just went full force into it and took everything that God put in my toolbox from my experiences in life and utilized it. And it is, I am, sometimes I have to pinch myself, you know what I mean? Because I look at it and to me, this is nothing. Like literally, like this is just normal. And a lot of people are impressed, but like I tell people, you just got to allow yourself to be used. And you have to understand what is you and what the calling is. And for me, the reason why I move so differently is because of the call in my life. Because what I'm doing at this point has nothing to do with money for me. It really has to do with me being a lighthouse along the way, like someone was for me, basically.
Amen. I love that. I love that because I've followed you pretty much since day one. And when I first saw you, I was like, man, I was like, there's something different about this lady. And and not to point out the obvious, but you stood out like a sore thumb. And I was like, I need to pay attention. I started watching your YouTube videos, and you were bringing people in, and there was just something different about you. And when I started following you at first, I was trying to understand um, how you were doing so much so fast because you
Yeah.
got into the appliance industry, and as soon as you got in, it was like, how is this lady doing so much in so little of time? Because I'd already been in it for 6 or 7 years, and I'm like, she's blown on past me in a year and a half, and I don't even know what's going on. But it
Yeah.
was a beautiful thing because you don't I've noticed you've always given credit to God for it, and you've always been focused on bringing other people in and changing their lives simultaneously. And I truly believe that when your heart condition is that way, and you realize that God's given you certain gifts and certain callings and certain things, that He truly blesses the outcome, and you can attest to it. It's not easy. You make it look easy, but we can all attest that it can be trying. It can be hard. So, shameless plug, if you haven't followed her, there it is, Solid Steps to Wealth on YouTube. And if you haven't checked out any of her videos, whether you are a brand new business owner, a technician, a CSR, long time appliance guy, whatever, gal, whatever, go check her out because she's got great videos and great content. And I've really appreciated just getting to know you over the last few years that I've known you, and it's just been a really good experience for me because I always love catching little nuggets.
Yeah, well, I appreciate the opportunity. Like I said, you guys welcome me with open arms. I've always been a champion of you guys because you guys have the vision and understand what the big picture looks like. So many people are in these social constructs where they have no idea that their blessing is in front of them, but they're so busy scrutinizing the package, they can't get the message. And it's unfortunate because there are relationships and partnerships that are there that are already in place, but because you can't get you out the way, you can't get to the next level. I mean, it's a fact. So
Yeah,
and I've learned that was the hardest thing about not bring, I have a philosophy, like I was telling you guys earlier, I want to bring people with me who are ready. I'm not, and I'm ruthless. Like, I'm like, look, I'm not about to, you better grab this nugget because what they don't understand, I'm still growing and striving myself. I can allow myself to slide back. So I'm sorry, I can't put you on my back and carry you, and I'm not re-raising grown folks. The reality is we are in the greatest country on earth, and we have opportunities that other people would um, love to have. I'm gonna just say it because I'm real like that. I am apparently a woman of color with preferences in life.
Hold on.
And
You are.
Wait, what?
Hey, so I'm spitting game. That's right. What's up, Alex? Anyway, but the reality is, in any other country, in any other space, I would be the scum of earth, simply because of how what people beliefs are. You know, I was blessed to be born in this country. I was blessed to have opportunities, and yeah, I mean, I dealt with stuff that people still dealing with today. You know, there's institutionalized stuff. There's what people believe, but I blow past it. You know, like you look, you might have never met nobody and seen nothing like me, but I'm here today. I got
Amen.
time today.
Yep,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
it.
Because I'm not going to allow what you think or project on me to affect my growth. And, you know, as a little round brown girl, you feel me? These are things I have to understand. I am happy in who I am, what I am, and how I get down because it gives me a special viewpoint of life. It allows me to be in areas that some people can't go in and be comfortable, and it gives me an opportunity to expose people to the fact of what you can do, what you could be, if you just focus on what's in front of you,
Yep.
one step at a time, and understand whatever your call is your call. You know, who knew I would expand into multiple states? You know, we went over that earlier. Who knew this would happen and that I would go through a premium process, a premier process that most people can't even qualify for? They don't have the tenacity, they don't have the wherewithal, and they don't have the diligence or consistency to do that. You know, just like we were talking earlier about how, depending on the environment I'm in, that I can code switch. You know, I can roll right up in the hood and be the OG, and I can run slide in the boardroom and, you know, take the head of the table. But the
Yeah.
point was that you have to be comfortable in your skin and not be concerned about the exterior of everyone else. If you are constantly working on developing your character, your self-worth, self-esteem, because you'll hear me go to my channel talking about healing the child within, dealing with those traumatic experiences. Most people don't understand that your emotional development have stopped in that area at 7. This is why you see grown men and women you know, throwing fits in the middle of supermarkets and stores because whatever happened was never healed and addressed. So that's what they know. They go back to what they know. You know, and that's why at the end of the day, you got to love you. You feel me? And you got to understand that you are wonderfully made. You can never apologize for who you are, the skin you're in. And then you got to understand you have a special assignment. Once you get on that assignment, let me tell you something. I ain't got time to be in nobody else's business. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I ain't catching feelings. I'm catching flights.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
You know?
let's touch on what you just said right before that. And I know you're not gonna give away the whole thing, but you are expanding like crazy because I talked to you maybe I don't know 3 or 4 months ago, and you were doing your thing in Florida, growing like crazy. But you're everywhere now.
Mhm.
Don't give it all out, but
Yeah.
talk a little bit about it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got to give the glory where it is because the reality is that I ordered. You know, there's a song called "Ordered My Steps." Look it up. It's fire. Okay, and it talks about how you put your processes in. You know, a lot of people know me. One reason I stood out in the beginning was because while everybody was going to warranty, I was going to COD. They was like, "What?" But what they don't understand is that I came from that background, you know, and I came from a background of dealing with luxury. I'm dealing with BMW, Mercedes, Aston Martin. Come on, I'm dealing with that clientele. So I speak their language and I understand how to deal with those clients that have expectations. And I don't take it personal. I just elevate and I charge accordingly. You feel you feel me?
Amen.
So when I went into COD, I had strategy and I keep strategy. And so I was going where everybody was running from. I came in at a premium time. So whatever I undertake, whether it be warranty or COD, as I start to layer warranty in, I go with warranty premium warranty providers and I excel because I understand what they want from the tech side and I understand what they want from the corporate side. Most people don't understand when people say you need to be a problem solver. First of all, we in America, so we got first world problems. So everybody kind of undercover lazy. And when I say undercover lazy, meaning that we have the comforts. Luxuries once tasted becomes necessities. So when I'm dealing with, say, per se warranty company, I understand not only how to check the boxes, but over, you know, let's see what's the word I'm looking for. um, over compensate for their shortcomings. So say I call and there's an issue. I'm looking behind the scenes to see what that issue is and how I can eliminate it for them and for me. And the easier you make it for them to do business with you, the more they give you. And that's basically what occurred for me. Like currently, I am covering North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri. I feel like I'm leaving somebody out.
Bahamas.
Oh yeah, the Bahamas. Thanks to my
That's where I'm gonna go
my
work for
round
you in the
table,
Bahamas.
and believe it or not, they just added Tennessee. So the reality is, people are like, how are you able to do it? It has to do with relationships. And this is what I mean about ordering your steps. When I started coaching and consulting, because people would ask me 900 questions, I realized that I had, had to develop something called Tech to Titan. And the reason I had to develop that process was I was seeing technicians who had the technical ability, but they didn't know how to run a business. They didn't know how to deal with front facing customers, and nor did they understand the process of putting things in place. Oh yeah, Ohio. Man, I'm flying out there next week. Thank you, Saul. See, this Saul is
So
my
must
ride.
be paying
This is what I
attention.
think about ride or die. Saul out of Marcone.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you something, man. Every time I make a move, I hit that guy. He helps me work out the logistics, shipping parts, and that goes back to relationships. So getting back to what I was saying with the techs, I was saying techs who didn't understand, you feel me? Because they still had a W-2 mentality. They were trying to mimic what they thought their businesses were, the companies they work for were doing, when they didn't have the skill set or the resources. So when you don't have the skill set or the resources, you have to develop something that works for you on a smaller scale but gets the same result. And the beautiful thing is you can put your personal touch on it and your twist on it, on your flavor on it, as we say, your swag. So the beautiful part about that is if you can't answer the phone, these guys are going to get a CSR from somewhere who really don't understand the process, because they just plug it and plan. When they don't understand in the business, you can't set it and forget it. You have to continue to find situations and solutions that are long term so you can excel, because the goal as a tech is to be able to get that job done as quickly and as easily as possible with little interruption. You can't do that answering the phone. You can't do this. Just like you see these big boys who got out the truck and so they in the office running their business. That's their philosophy. My philosophy is to be boots on the ground, because the reality is what made me successful is my skill set makes me able to do the job of 10 people. You follow me? So I had to get relationships with acts like like for instance, you look at Workies, I still work with them. They're developing. And the reason I use Workies, and a lot of people aren't comfortable with it, but when you look at their marketplace, you look at their relationships with Gusto, which is payroll, QuickBooks, which is going to help you with your taxes and managing your receipts, and payroll. They have a payroll option. And you look at Zapier, you look at the fact that they have Zoom. See, I am forward thinking, because we all know from the gig economy that in order to present as a large corporate company with a small town feel, you feel me? You have
Mhm.
to merge these worlds. And while they're going through red tape because they so big they can't make a move without 20 people signing off, you done beat them to the punch. And not only did you beat them to the punch, you got the cream of the crop, because your strategy, your focus to aim at.
Yeah.
You
Amen.
feel me? Like prime
We,
example, you look at Mr. What is it, Mr. Appliance? You call them and they like basically that lady answer the phone. She be like, "How can I make your day today?" I'm like, "Dang, I want to buy something. I don't need nothing." But that's their business model, is to wow those customers, because they're dealing with the customers on the phone. Just like when our situation happened, the people who had an online presence had logistics in place and infrastructure. And so at the end of the day, that's how you have to build your business around your personality, how you want to live. You don't have to blow up and glow up. You feel me?
yeah.
Amen.
We had a question come in, Miss Ward, if you don't mind answering.
Okay.
Alex says, it's amazing you're in that many states. Is your business
hmm
model a franchise?
No, it's not. And the reason is, when I talk about the call, my whole purpose was because I was coaching people. I already had people in the States from coaching. And now hold up. Let's go back to everybody can't go. The beautiful part about coaching is you get to see the inner workings of someone's brain, and you see their shortcomings, and you see their willingness to overcome. At the end of the day, everybody can't go. So a lot of people aren't involved with me that I've coached in this because they're just not at that level. Like they still trying to get out of their own way. Like I can't send you to go work on the thermidor. I can't send you to go work on the. It's certain things I can't send people to do when they're not confident. And then 20 years from now, when they realize that it was easier to work on that than it is on what you're working on right now, you feel me?
Yeah, that's how I feel about these people that say they don't want to work on LG and Samsung. LG and Samsung's easy to work on. If you're
Hmm.
working on new Whirlpool refrigerators, you can work on an LG and a Samsung. So
Hmm.
They
let
got
me
the
say
best.
this, Miss Ward, because and you said this a few minutes ago about how you're able to adapt to whatever environment you're in, and I've seen this firsthand. We've never met personally, but we've been phone friends for quite some time. And when she first started talking, when we first started chatting on the phone, I was on the phone, and I assume you have multiple phones in your van because you
Uh-huh.
answered another phone. And she was talking to me. She was like, "Yeah, TK, blah blah blah," just spitting knowledge, and I'm just sitting there listening. And then she's like, "Hold on a second, I gotta answer a call." And it sounded like a completely different person answered the phone. She was like, just so professional. How can I help you? Yes, ma'am. Blah blah. And I was like, this lady
Yeah.
has the soft skills. Like I thought I was good at soft skills, and then I heard Miss Ward on the phone with a customer. I was like, man, I got to step my game up.
Yeah, yeah. With that comes from a lot of people don't understand. See, people are intimidated with customers. And what you have to do is you actually have to hear them and then morph into them. So, prime example, I'm in global USA, meaning South Florida. So, I got my Cuban brothers and sisters, I got my, Dominican brothers and sisters, my Puerto Ricanians, you know what I'm saying? And then, of course, I got my Haitian brothers and sisters, my jeans and stuff like that. So and Pierre, so you got to respect people culture, and that's the thing I learned is that, and just like prime example, I have guys who I talk on the phone. I have some of my clients who are Muslim, and so assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam. See, if you're ignorant to people's cultures, then how can you move? Because they're people just like you, and when you acknowledge who they are and respect where they are, um, then you move differently and then you take something away from that. I'm that way because like I said, people would not, when you when you see my resting blah blah face,
Mm,
I'm not a friendly, like I'm smiling with y'all, but I'm so serious, like people be scared of me. Like I intimidate people just by my presence. Because I'm no nonsense, but I'm serious about my business. Like we can hang all day long, but don't play with the paper. That could be a problem.
There you go.
I'll tell you, when I started in this, I found you. I think you was one of the first ones, if not the first person I found on YouTube. And I'm like TK. The style was different. The flavor was different. And it's like, wait a minute. And I was listening, and all the stuff made sense. And you was talking processes and procedures, and that was speaking my language because I come from management background as well.
Mhm.
And you started about the same time as me. Like I think maybe a couple of months before, and I was kind of measuring your pace with mine, and I was always falling short, and everybody was impressed by how fast my business grew, and I'm just looking at you like I can't even keep up, and you was like, if you want coaching, call, but I'm gonna put you on game, and I was like, man, I want to talk to her, but I don't think I'm. I
People are
can't even.
scared.
I can't. I ain't ready. I ain't gonna come like that. I ain't gonna come false. But man, I've been taking notes from day one, getting the books you recommend, and doing the things, and it's helped me out a lot. But that pace, that pace, you're on a different level. You're on a different
Yeah.
level.
Well, y'all have to realize, see, my mindset is very different. People always like to say, I'm just growing differently. It's kind of like, some people grow straight up, some people grow like this, and so because I'm clear about a certain things, like prime example. Um, A lot of you guys who have the phones and you are answering and dealing with customers and growing your base, to me, I love y'all to death, but I'm not a brick and mortar model girl. Never have been, and the reason why the process pieces and stuff like that is so important to me because I'm a kind of like a maverick. Like in any industry I've been in, it never looked like I was doing stuff like everybody else. Like early on in my careers, because my growth was exponential, I was audited 2 to 3 times more than everybody else because people they could not believe. But what they didn't understand, I had that level of work ethic. Like if I'm looking at something, I'm not looking at it. I'm looking through it, round it, back it. I'm flipping and dipping it because I know there's a better way, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why when I look at it, that's what I love about appliance repair because appliance repair will put you in your place on the regular. The simplest stuff, you'll be like, how did I miss that? Like how many
Yeah.
times you go check out a dishwasher and you're supposed to look to see if it's a brand new garbage disposal. You feel
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
draining. And now of all people, that you're supposed to look and see if it's a new garbage disposal. You already know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we miss it every time. How many times we go out and look at something we don't check for the 240,
Well,
knowing that it's not gonna heat
I got
without
a
that other
perfect
leg.
I got a perfect example. What's today? Wednesday, I went out on a Viking range, gas range, and I went in. I had my plan together. No spark on the burners. I had my plan together, and the customer started chatting in my ear, and he got me sidetracked. And I didn't start at the power. I didn't start at the source, and I started disassembling. And I had the whole top taken apart, had the spark module flipped over, had my hot stick out. I put my hot stick on the incoming voltage to the spark module, nothing. I looked down at the oven, I hit the oven light, no lights. I said, sir, I said, is there power to this range? He said, yeah, there's power to the range. He's like, I'm sure of it. I turned the knob for the oven, the light doesn't turn on. Drop down on my knees, stick my hot stick in the back next to the plug, nothing. Damn breaker was off.
Mhm. Hey,
So
but
there
we
I
all get
was
there.
20 minutes in on something that could have taken me 10 seconds and I could have been on to my next call. So yeah, I get it. It happens. Happens to the best of us.
We
That's a
got a
good
question.
question.
We got a question, Miss
What do
Ward.
you do?
Yeah, what do you do to help people get from untrained and unprofessional to top tier? I think it's that tech to Titan.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you're located. I'm gonna give you an honest, straight up answer because I gotta keep it focused. I gotta be, hey, I'm in Rome. I gotta do like the Romans do, Romans do. But really, what I recommend you do is develop relationships um, in your area. Prime example, like I was telling you guys, when I come home, I always go to class. What people don't know about me is I pay every semester. Like I am never going to graduate I'm never going to graduate from Votech, and I'm proud of it because I am about supporting those the Votech, what is it? Votech schools, vocational technology schools, so that people will go to them and get into the trade. So if you see Miss Ward still going in, hanging out with Richard Zilka, as I do. And like I go and I work on R600 all the time because anything that is new. And then the beautiful thing is, I recommend people, number one, if you're entry level and you want to learn, you need to either get with a company that's going to train you properly. You need to be doing Votech on top of that because the class I go to is from 5:30 p.m. until 11 Monday through Friday. And that course is dirt cheap. Okay, let's just keep it a buck. The other thing is I strongly recommend that you understand the 10,000 hours of mastery. Meaning, you need to be on YouTube. You need to buy the Eric Clenert book, and you need to put yourself on a program. If you step away from the world for 90 days to 6 months and just laser focus, you're going to be the best. Because the reality is first world problems. I mean, we over here and people, you can be this big, this much above mediocre and be a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. because
Literally.
the mere fact that people will not focus on anything. So the first thing you got to do is you got to have the hands in on as a technician. And once you get your basics, you got to stay consistent. You got to keep, first of all, get the noise out your ears, because that's all the problem. People listening to everybody else, they doing paralysis analysis, and then the people that's scared to go work on appliance, I ain't got nothing for you. I'm gonna keep it a buck, because the fact that my female technicians have no fear to go into these homes, it's crazy to me. It's like that's just, you have to move that unknown out the way, because we all know everything we scared of. Once you get there, it ain't as bad as you think. Look how many customers, guys, we have to go to, and we're intimidated because it's a problem or we messed up or blah blah. You get there, they just happy you there.
Yeah.
They can find you. I mean,
Yeah.
this is life. So in order to get to the next level, you have to get your basics in order. As you get your basics, then you move into the next level. So you have to be confident on one level. Like I was just talking to one of my guys that hate dishwashers. I said, man, I hate dishwashers and washers too, but I force myself to do them because I know I'm not going to get. And then what I found out is that I done turned dishwashers into a moneymaker because ain't nobody doing them.
Mhm.
Like literally.
I hate
And
dishwasher.
microwaves.
I love microwaves now. Just give me microwaves all day, and I'll work on every single one. And one thing that I noticed about you, Miss Ward, and I listen and pay attention, is that you you set the bar for your people. You set a high bar for your people, but you don't set that bar for them and then say, have fun trying to get here. You set the bar and then you inspire and encourage and equip the people that are under you to get to that bar. And I think that goes right along with what Andrew was asking, was a true leader and a true boss, if you will, is going to do that. Because if you just go out there and say, all right, you got these calls to run today, have a good time, and you're not inspiring and equipping the people under you to reach the bar that you're at, you're not really doing them any justice. And that's what I've seen about you and I love about you. And I try to bring that into my business because I struggle with that. Like, because I'm a very reactive person, and it's something that I have to work on a daily basis because the problems come in or the issues with the customer come in, and I'm just like, oh, I can't stand it when a customer's not happy or the job's not going well. But one thing that I've tried to incorporate into my business is taking a play out of your book and not being reactive, but being forward thinking. And if you're forward thinking like Miss Ward, when that problem comes in, you already got a game plan. You already know what to do. You already have that procedure in place. Okay, this is going on right now. This is what we do. And that's why we sound like broken records when we talk about, Miss Ward talks about it, the Alliance talks about it. These SOPs and these procedures, they are the lifeblood of your company. And if you don't have them and you're not working on them, you're missing out, because it is truly what will set you apart. When she said just being mediocre, you're a step above. If you just call your customers back in my area, you're a step above your competition. Because I go out on a daily basis and I hear, I called so and so. He called me once and then never followed up. Or he came out, he said he was going to order a part and he never followed up. So
Mhm.
yeah, some good stuff, Miss Ward. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to share is that I'm reactive too. And I think that we need to take a page. Oh, excuse me, Doug, we did sit at the same table in 2019. You're absolutely right, man. Yeah, I remember you was that handsome guy across the way, but sorry, wrong team, Doug. Love you anyway. All right, so getting back to what I was saying. Um, the reactive piece. I think we have to take a page out of Truett Cathy's book, the founder of Chick-fil-A. See, when you go to Chick-fil-A, y'all be like, oh my God, where they get these people from? But they have a prototype, like they have a process, and they have a specific type of employee. This is why they are consistent throughout the nation. Same thing. So what you have to do is in your hiring process. See, it's very difficult to work for me because you about to get ripped from the dough. Because if you come in with the half whatever, you feel me? I'm not dealing with you. I'm ruthless. You feel me? I'm ruthless because I'm not gonna allow you. Number one, I'm not re-raising grown folks. You feel me? If you don't have the desire, I can't pull it for you. I'm not gonna pick up where your mama left off. None of that's happening because you don't fit my brand. It's just like a specific customer that fit my brand. So I have learned early on, everybody can't go. I think part of the problem is when we do the SOP thing, it's difficult for those of us who this is a natural gift. We normally think that way. So we want to know why the hell they can't do it. The reality is that everybody needs order. Everybody needs the path to go down, even you. And so, as a business owner, you know that when you actually take a moment away and organize your day and have everything in order, you'll notice how everything's smooth because you've already anticipated the drama. When you're dealing with staff, you know their weak points. You follow me? So, you know they continue to have the same issue. So, either you don't put them on it or you put safety things in place. And you got to understand, is it worth you to put those safety stops in place? See, that's when it's real business because I'm about running lean as I can be. I'm not about to be chasing folks. I better be able to reach you. And with my guys, it's a different game. It's just like I had my Zoom call with my guys in Ohio last night. And we were talking. I said, okay, I'm going to be in Ohio. I'm going to pick up a vehicle for you. I'm going to give you this vehicle. It's going to be it's going to be because, I do all my stuff through enterprise leasing because I believe in pushing corporate accounts. And that's what I mean about when you hear me talking to people about business credit, all this stuff, most people can't navigate because they don't have the resources. And then when they get the resources, they ain't never had none. They don't know what to do with it. So, like everything is a process. You have to have that 360 play. So I can go to Enterprise or Hertz, use my corporate account, and put this guy in the vehicle. Now he's already been vetted. We got contracts in place. You follow me? So I'm doing that, and at the same time, I have given him permission because of how I move. You can use this vehicle to do your own thing because I'm coaching him through my own business. I mean, his own business because he was one of my clients. He put skin in the game, and he has the skill set to come onto the team. But at the same time, get back to the franchise. The reason why I don't have a franchise model because I'm not building this. The thing that people don't know about me, I'm building this network not for me. I'm building it for the people I'm helping. And I want to be able to turn these states and these opportunities over to them because they are my legacy. I'm
Amen.
headed to government contracts. Like I told y'all, I'm trying to do 20 to 50 million in government contracts. And then my personal relationships with, like early on, I have a relationship with Microsoft. Early on, I have the Microsoft account in Florida. Like people like, how did that happen? But what they don't know is that years ago, I used to work for a startup that was in a relationship with Microsoft in Seattle. Like my background is really diverse, and I don't really talk a lot about that because they don't come up in those rooms, and it's not necessary. But I want to build because no one has, um, a lot of people don't have opportunities. This is their first time to run a business. They know how to go out here and hustle, but they don't know how to turn the business into a hustle. Turn the hustle into a business structure, taxes, and that you can win.
Yeah. I love that you said you're working toward, you're not doing this for yourself. You're working towards leaving a legacy for the people that are under you, for the people that you have. And that, I mean, I'm not nearly on the level that you are, but that was literally my goal since day one with my business. Like when me and my business partner sat down and we decided to merge and start bringing guys in, that was it was a smaller vision, but it was very similar. I won't say exact same because it definitely wasn't the exact same. But and people need to really listen to that because we hear a lot of people anti-capitalists say that capitalism bad, this, that, and the other. I'm not going to get into all that, but capitalism is as good as what you do with it. And if you go into the market as a boss and as an owner and as a businessman, and you flip the script and you're not just trying to get rich off the backs of other people, and you truly care about your employees and you truly care about their well-being and their growth and all those things, and you're using you're using I don't want to say using them, but using their skills and their things to not just grow your wealth, but to empower them to that next level. that's a game changer, man. Because there's so there. I talk about the series all the time, helping without hurting. In the books, Toxic Charity and Charity Detox. If you've never read these books, they're great books. And what they talk about is that we get in this mindset in America that giving away things and giving things to people is the answer to poverty or hard conditions or whatever. It's not. Empowerment is the answer. Giving someone a hand up instead of a handout is the answer. And if you go out there and one of my missions in life is to help young people, specifically inner city youth and veterans. I don't know how it's going to work, but I know that that's what God's put on my heart. And when you have a heart to empower people, and you have a heart to take people in like Miss Ward does, and think that, hey, my end game is to leave something to my employees. It's almost like you're treating them as your children, in a sense. You want to leave something for them so that they can be great, they can have a business, they can be out there killing it, making money, and exactly what Alex says here. You're teaching a man to fish. You're teaching that man to fish, and I just love it. Thank you, Miss Ward. You're an inspiration.
Thank you. Well, I saw a question down there from Mr. Soper. I love that guy. That guy is like a technical genius, man. I call him Mr. Decor. But anyway, he was saying about can they be trained? Well, I think that we have to go back to the aptitude test about mechanical abilities. Now, some people, if they have the character that you want, and if they actually have the ability to learn and to listen and to apply what you give, you're going to know that. And during that conversation, if you're asking the right questions, I feel anybody can be trained, but the key is, do you have the ability to train them? See, it's not just the student. See, me, I ain't got no patience because I'm going to tell you one time, two, if it's a third time, you getting the side eye and you might be looking for a new job. Because I'm telling you, people be begging to work for me. I'll be like, this is not what you want. Because I come from the whole situation of the background of, rule with a iron hand, but wear a velvet glove, and that's really how I move. Like prime example, I was discussing pay with some of the people because by the way, I don't have employees. I have subcontractors because I can't stand employees. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, um, I have subcontractors because once again, I was talking to one of the subcontractors and she's having a problem figuring out what I should pay her. See, I tell people to tell me what you want to get paid, and then I make them qualify it. Like I'm a different because at all times I'm training them. I'm teaching them their worth. I'm awakening the geniuses within. Because if I even take the time to deal with you, I see something in you you don't see in yourself. So we're gonna see how long it's gonna take for this to wake up. If it takes too long, you're gonna be on the curve. But if you roll it with the flow, then we good. So I was talking to her. I said, look, I said, you can think about your salary and what you want to be paid. I said, but you also need to consider equity. See, these are the conversations I have with my subcontractors. I'm teaching them you should be eating into perpetuity. When you come up with a construct, an idea, and I know this, and the reason I'm very big on this type of stuff, people are like, oh, she's brilliant. No, it's because my ass has got. I made millions of dollars for major companies because of my work ethic and skill set and stuff that I would look at and be like, hustle, 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 hustle. You feel me? I'd be like for instance, I was in a market where people were doing 5,000, 7,000 a day. I was doing 30,000 a day, and to me it was normal. Like I
Mm.
remember when I was running a location in UNC, University of North Carolina, off of North Tryon in Charlotte. And so I would have the hood on one side, I've had the affluent people in the back side, and then I'd have the students on the other side. So I would change the way we managed that location to those clients. We had a mix of all those people. And so when people would come in, the students would greet them at the door. At the time, and them talking about this is years ago, like when the iPad first came out, I was the kind of manager, like as I moved up the ranks, I would buy my staff, I would go to Verizon, I'd buy 10 iPads and let them have them because we
Mm.
communicate like that. And people at the company would be mad, like, why is she But I'm doing that because I wanted my people to be on edge technology. Because we need to be like this. We're impressing customers at the same time they're learning another skill set, and then they understand I trust them with this product. You know what I mean? I need you, if I want you to be responsive, if I want you to be on point, I'm gonna provide the tools. People like, well, what if they run off with it? What if I say I ain't worried about none of that? See, that's the wrong mindset. You got to expose people. Like, how can you just let this guy have this vehicle, then use it for his own business? Because at the end of the day, he's going to understand. See, the problem with appliance repair, and this really irks me, because I pay my people top dollar because I ain't trying to make $1 million to live off and sit in front of a Lamborghini and fake it out for a course. That ain't who I am. You feel me? But you got people here that will take advantage of text, and then they wonder why people have bad attitudes or why they doing shortcuts because somebody done pimped them out at another company. These people run through people and chew them up and throw them out like they ain't nothing. Well, the key is if you knew they wasn't they first of all, you got to look in the mirror as a business owner. You feel me? And if this ain't the kind of people you want to deal with, don't hire them. Like it's a whole situation, you know? It's a
Absolutely.
whole situation where, and now these people become a number. Like it's hilarious. I look at these big companies that run all their work is ran through warranty companies. They ain't making. I'm looking at them like you ain't making no damn profit because you done locked into a flat rate and now you stuck. And then you got guys, you can't pay them properly. You can't get them trained. You're not doing what you need to do. I mean, you don't always have to pay people. If you can inspire them with training and investing in their whole being, making sure that they can go talk to somebody. Like people thought it was a joke when these companies start adding that therapy piece. Like what was it, EAP or something? Employee, somewhere an employee could call a therapist. Man,
Yeah,
please.
the
And
teledoc.
then when people they start adding the health part where you can go to the gym, like you really have to take care of the whole being, but you better be ready for that.
Yeah.
That's why I deal with subcontractors because I know 99% of the people are in their own way. You
Yeah.
know, they
I was
really are. I'm telling you.
I was talking to Phil. Shout out to Phil Mellenhow. I think I butchered that, but and he was telling me with his insurance company, they give him a $60 discount if the employee has a gym membership. So he gets everybody a $40, $30 gym membership, and he's $20 in the positive across the board. And
Yeah.
it's little, and it's little nuggets like that, man. You sit back and you see all these different business owners, and there's all this different information. But the thing that Miss Ward does, and the thing that I see people like Phil doing, and other great business owners out there, they know what their game plan is. So number one, for first and foremost, is have a game plan. And I guarantee you that when Miss Ward first started, her game plan has changed and evolved and grown and become better and better. But you got to have a starting point. You got to have somewhere where you're starting from. If you don't have a business plan and you're a business owner, what are you doing? And have goals, man. We talk about it all the time. One thing I know about Miss Ward, she's goal driven. She's goal oriented. Us at the Alliance, we're all about goals. The masterminds are centered around goals. Everything we talk about is centered around goals. Put some goals on some paper. Write it down and have a plan and have a starting point and keep your eyes on the prize. Miss Ward's business is laser appliance repair. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
And the reason I don't know this to be a fact, but I imagine the reason she calls it is because of her laser focus. This woman is laser focused. She knows her calling. She knows what she's about. She knows what she's out there to do. But she's also willing to adapt and change and evolve as she does it because she's looking at the big picture, and that's what it's all about, guys. If you're small, if you have a small mindset and you're thinking small, guess what kind of results you're going to get? You're going to get small results. So dream big, guys. I'm super inspired, man. I want to go out and conquer the world today.
Yeah, I used to. When I first started watching her, she kept pushing me. I was working 12, 13-hour shifts, and then doing this on the side part time. And I was complaining, and then she's up at like 4 a.m. getting the hustle live on YouTube. I'm like, shoot, I I can't quit. I can't quit. And I'd be down, and I'd just watch a little 10-minute episode of her just ranting on the road, and like, get up, don't be laying around. I'm like, dang on, she can see me. I got to do something. We appreciate you coming on and encouraging everybody. What you do on your channel is top notch. I don't know if you'll ever understand how many people you inspire, but you're doing the Lord's work that He called you to do, and it's working.
So if you haven't followed her yet and you're watching this now or watching this later, go to Solid Steps to Wealth on YouTube. Your website, your coaching website, I don't know the exact .com for it, but what's the link to your website? We'll put that in too.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this, because what it is on my channel I have it in the
Description.
Yeah, in the description. So let me get it for you.
Perfect.
And I'll put it in the chat there for you, and then you guys can.
Well, we still got questions rolling in, but we're gonna have Miss Ward back if she'll have us back, because the community is already blowing up and loving what you're spitting, Miss Ward. So we're gonna get you on as a reoccurring guest, and more freestyle. I'm on every Wednesday and Friday. EJ's on every Monday and Friday. So we got plenty of spots where we can squeeze you in, because we love you and we appreciate what you do and the passion that you have. And that's another little nugget to take away from that. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, get some passion in your life. Be passionate about it. If you're sitting there and you're watching Miss Ward and you're feeling something stir inside of you, it's probably some passion, and let it go, and let it go into your life as a business owner, as a technician, whatever key role you're playing in this industry. Be passionate about it, because if you're not passionate about it, then what are you doing? AJ's sitting sideways on us. What happened, buddy? You looking like Paul Wall over there sitting sideways. What's going on, man?
Hey, yeah, but well, the reality is it's a pleasure to be here. And I don't really talk to a lot of people. I'm really a loner, and I'm really undercover antisocial, which is why I did the channel, because people used to ask me so many questions. They'd be like, dang, she got an attitude. They don't know I have 900 things on my plate. It ain't like I don't want to talk to you. I can't talk to you, because then I got to deal with me. Like the same way I push y'all. A lot of times you guys get a lot out of my videos, because I'm really talking to myself. I'm really talking to myself. All right, you better tighten up now. Tighten up. Because opportunity, I come from a place where, me and my partner raised 5 kids, all put through college, like all that type of stuff. When you have those responsibilities, you're tired. So I don't have any of that anymore. So now I'm double, tripling the speed. People are like, what is she doing? When I first started, I couldn't talk to anybody because I have these ideas, and we got to do it this way. This is the way it's done. I'm like, no, that's the way you do it, bro. How about that? I see you as I'm passing by. Need a ride?
That's it. Well, we're going to definitely have you on again, Miss Ward, if you'll have us, because there's a lot that you can share with the community, and I'm just super thankful that that you are willing to share the knowledge that you do, because there's not a whole lot of people. A lot of people out there, they're doing great things, but they don't want to share it with anybody. And if you haven't checked out her YouTube page, like I said, check it out. Her Calendly link is down at the bottom there. We're gonna have her on again. Once we get rolling and start, but we're already rolling. But once the Service Alliance group gets our website over to Miss Ward, hopefully she will be able to give us an honest review, because I am really, really excited about hearing Mrs. Ward's opinion on the new website. So we're gonna get her in there so she can give us some feedback. And if you're watching today and you've already gotten on the website, we want your feedback too. It's super important to us. This is everything we do has been a labor of love, and we really want to hear from you. So I will be getting with you soon, either myself or Zach, Miss Ward, to get that set up. Thank you again, EJ. You got any closing thoughts, buddy?
I I feel awkward, like because me and you, when we're usually on here, we talk the whole time. And one thing I learned when people smarter than me are talking, just shut up. Uh, so, man, this is one of those days. We appreciate you. Uh, really, if you ain't on YouTube and on Solid Steps to Wealth, check it out. Get your daily kick in the pants and get after it. She drops
Don't
nuggets
forget your
every
notebook.
day.
All right, don't forget, guys, I got to do my scripture now.
Okay, yeah. Share your
All
scripture.
right, so look, usually most people only think about Proverbs 3, 4, and 5, and they forget about the rest of it. So I'm actually going to read a larger portion of this particular passage. Okay.
Yes,
So it's
ma'am.
going to be Proverbs third, Proverbs third. So here we go. My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Now, this is the part that everybody knows. Trust in you, the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves, and as a father, the son he delights in. Blessed are those who find wisdom, those who gain understanding, and for she is more profitable than silver and yields better returns than gold. She is more precious than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with her. Long life is her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and her paths are peace. She is the tree of life to those who take hold of her. Those who hold her fast will be blessed. By the wisdom the Lord laid the earth's foundation. By understanding he set the heavens in place. By his knowledge the watery depths were divided, and the clouds let drop the dew. Do not let wisdom and understanding out of your sight. Preserve sound judgment and discretion. They will be life for you. So I just wanted to share that because a lot of times we do lean on our own understanding and we are in confusion. So a lot of times when DJ was talking about business plan, TK was talking about business plan. A lot of times people think this stuff is formal. It's not formal. It's a scratch. Like grab a napkin, bro, and just when you have a thought, write it down because you're brilliant. Most people don't understand they are geniuses. Like they born with this. Like what I'm doing is nothing new. This is nothing special. You all have this. And the key is the fact you even wanted to do a business. You got to believe in you. And so all the naysayers and the negativity get away from it because you'll notice when you're by yourself, you do better anyway because you're alone with your thoughts. But you don't have to sit still and take instruction from within. That's all you got to do. You doesn't have to be all in order, but you got to start somewhere. Because if you're going in business and having the same problems with the same customers and same appliances, it's one common denominator, bro. It's you. Fix it. It's that simple.
Amen, man. Oh, I don't want to leave, but I got a meeting in like 7 minutes, man. This is killing. You can't. Hey, you hit the right one because everybody knows Proverbs is. I don't have a favorite verse in the Bible. I have a favorite book, and it's Proverbs. I literally got goosebumps when you were reading it. I love Proverbs
Mm-hmm.
3. If you take a minute today and read slowly Proverbs 3, and if you're new to the Bible, Proverbs is such a good book. No matter what your faith is, no matter what you believe, every time I read a proverb, I get a little nugget from it. So thank you so much, Miss Ward. We love you. We appreciate you. Continue to go out there and kill it. And if you're watching out there, we just encourage you. Just go out there and kill it today. Stop having a small mindset. Stop having small goals. Dream big. Be inspired. And most importantly, if you didn't get anything from this other than this, go out there and help somebody today. Go out there and position your business in a way. Do things and make moves to where you're not only focusing on yourself, you're focusing on others. And if you do that, I guarantee you, because God guarantees you, He's going to bless you for it. So, love you guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe. And we will catch you next week.